in the last 3 years, each year we've experienced the highest number of pedestrian fatalities on record, not just in the last 3 decades, but for as long as we've been keeping stats. These pedestrian deaths are super heartrending because they're so vulnerable. They're just out there walking, whatever. And we know that part of the camera bill is really going to focus on putting up cameras to slow traffic down in those areas where pedestrians are. So a pedestrian, if you're going 20 miles an hour and the worst thing happens and you hit a pedestrian, that pedestrian has about a 90% chance of surviving that crash. If you're going 35 or 40 miles an hour, it's maybe 1 in 10 that are going to survive a crash at that rate. So the importance of slowing traffic down in those heavy pedestrian areas is paramount. What we find with traffic cameras is that they put them up for a while and then people start behaving, which is what we're after, is this behavior change of slowing down. And they don't make as much money after a little bit. One of the best aspects of the bill that they passed is that the funding after the costs of running the program get put back into traffic safety. So they can actually go back in and build the physical infrastructure that pedestrians need to stay safe. And they're safest when they're separated from traffic.
One of the more common criticisms that you hear from skeptics of photo enforcement systems is the monetary incentive. It came up during testimony on the legislation. You know, is there an incentive for the government entity or the camera manufacturer, depending on how these contracts are set up, to maximize revenue, you know, to adjust the yellow light or something along those lines?
You can do a camera program poorly. That makes it seem like a money grab. I think that happened in other states and maybe early on in the whole camera business. I think most of those concerns have been taken care of. They've been legislated. Like there's actually a law about not being able to adjust the yellow light, right? You know, having to have enough yellow light time that people can stop. I don't think that jurisdictions are doing this as a gotcha. I think that you're right, they're unpopular. They're not going to put it out there without really good justification for why they're doing it. And they're doing it to reduce those crashes, which, I mean, when we talk about a 50% increase in fatals and other crashes increasing as well, those are resources. They're now at 50% more when they were already at maxed 5 years ago. So the more you can reduce crashes in general, but definitely those serious injury and fatal crashes, that is a huge tax benefit. We all pay this hidden tax because of crashes, and it's in the billions in Washington for fatal crashes. So we've got to do all that we can to reduce that toll, not just because lives are ruined or lost, but also because it's a horrible cost that we're all paying, and it's going up rapidly.
You can watch the rest of that interview by clicking the link below, and you can check out the Impact Archive for more in-depth interviews you won't find anywhere else.